So this is the Makerspace business, or how to use makerspaces as platforms for innovation. Yeah. So, okay, there are people here at the conference, they want to create their makerspaces and whatnot. Okay, they spend a lot of money to create a makerspace, yeah. Some have more tools than others, some of them have less. But in the end, we all know that these makerspaces, they cost a lot of money. And therefore, they're trying to figure out how are we going to make money trying to build out these things. Because we spend money on 3D printers, we spend money on our spaces. Okay, how are we going to make money? So, oh, okay, I know. I'll sell some memberships, you know. I'll sell some memberships, I'll get some things going, and I'll make my money that way. But the thing about this is, we all know that this is not going to work. It doesn't take very much effort to imagine, like, well, look, you've seen this business model happen before. This is a gym. Gyms sell memberships. They spend a lot of money on their equipment. Yeah, they promise that people come in, spend a lot, get your membership, you can use it, exercise machinery. But in the end, we know, okay, you get your membership card. The thing is that the more members that you try to bring into the space, the worse the experience becomes. You can't make anything there. Just like a gym, when all the machines are full, well, guess what? No one can run on those machines. Same thing with makerspaces. In fact, it's been the case where, okay, you sell a whole lot of memberships, what's going to happen? People are going to have to wait in line. If they want to use the table saw, well, guess what? There's 3 people in queue to use the table saw. If they need to use a laser cutter, there's going to be a queue system of 5 people for that. Then on top of that, when you have a whole bunch of members coming in, well, guess what? They're not going to be respecting your equipment too. This happens in gyms. So guess what? Someone uses your laser cutter, mistreats it a little bit, then what happens? It's down for a week. You don't have to repair it. There's something wrong with it. And at the end of the day, look, the members' experiences are going to be really bad. And when members' experiences are bad, what are they going to do? They're going to get up and leave. They're not going to stick around anymore. So, look, makerspaces, we can't be like gyms. This is a losing proposition. This is a losing business model. So, what should we do? Yeah? So, I'm here today to talk about the makerspace business and how we can use makerspaces as platforms for innovation. So, first of all, I'm Natis. I'm the CEO and founder of MAKERSPACE Thailand. I've done a lot of things. I was originally a .com entrepreneur in Silicon Valley. I moved out to Thailand about 14 years ago. And I've been an entrepreneur ever since. I've done business, been entrepreneurial businesses with Mafia. I've done entrepreneurial businesses with the military. I like the Mafia better than the military. We'll get into that another time. Yeah. I started a corporate training company. I taught an MBA school, but that doesn't matter now. But at the end of the day, it's like, I really love being in Asia. I came to Asia, I didn't know anything, didn't speak the language. But I really found a lot of peace here in Asia. At one point in time, I was a Buddhist monk. For several months, as a monk, I ordained at the Temple of Dawn in Bangkok. All I did was meditate all the time. In fact, I practice wisdom meditation. That's why on my back of my shirt, it says, in Chinese it means wisdom. And I just love being here. So that's me. But today, we're going to talk about makerspaces. And I think it's kind of important for us when we talk about makerspaces is first of all, what is the maker movement and why is it important? So a couple months back, I watched a TED Talk by this guy here. His name is Joy Ito. He's the director for Media Labs at MIT. They're in charge of bringing in all these different types of people to create new, weird, and wacky new innovations into the world, using MIT technologies. This TED Talk went something like this. Back in the day, ever since the Industrial Revolution, there's these big, huge corporations, monolithic corporations. And the thing is that they had a monopoly on innovations. Innovations were really expensive. To do any innovation in the world took a lot of money. And the only people who had a lot of money were these big, huge corporations. Well, the thing is that this all sort of changed. After the internet came out, these companies no longer had a monopoly on innovations. In fact, it became very low cost. People could do it anywhere. Yeah? It spread out to people in their garages. It spread out to people in their dorm rooms. It became something not a big corporation did anymore. It became something that the individual could do. And so before the internet, yeah, the way that you created a company was like this. A whole bunch of MBAs would get together, they'd write a business plan, yeah, and they would go pitch to some VCs for some money, and then, whoa, there you go, then you create your business. Great. But that was before the internet. After the internet came out, it kind of changed. Suddenly people then go, oh, okay, I have to go pitch. No, they just created companies. They just go, okay, I'm just going to do it because innovation was really, really cheap. It was very affordable. Right? So they would just make stuff. Yeah? Then they would go pitch the VCs, where they get their money, and then they would create their company, and then maybe they would hire some MBAs. Yeah? And we know this to be true because, well, look, we saw the era of the .com come around. We saw the era of Web 2.0, then social media, then mobile apps. Yeah? We know this to be true. The thing is, though, that all these things that I've been talking about are all virtual products. Yeah? This all happened in the virtual world. Well, here's the thing. Now we're moving into an era of what I call Industrial 2.0. Yeah? Where it's no longer about the virtual stuff, but also the physical things as well. So what do I mean? So for example, this is a factory floor in China. Yeah? It's an electronics factory. It creates, it took several $1 million to create this factory. It hires thousands of employees. The thing is like, okay, this is back in the day. We're still doing it, but now this factory can be replaced by this. This is a pick-and-place machine. It's the size of a car. Yeah? It's affordable enough that this girl can afford it. And this machine can put 20,000 components onto electronic boards per hour. So it doesn't require a huge factory anymore. Yeah? It can be all done by this machine, and this girl can do it. This is a bacteria created by DuPont. It's called the Sorona compound. Yeah? They spent $400 million US to genetically engineer these bacteria to break down cornstarch and make it into a competing product with what's it called, polyester. So no longer do you need to go and use petrochemicals to create polyester. You can use cornstarch as a direct replacement. It costs them $400 million US. Well, nowadays, things have changed. Industrial 2.0. This guy here is using a genetic sequencer. It sits on the desktop. And he can do all the work that DuPont did right here in this machine. And it doesn't cost $400 million, it costs less than $1 million. So what I'm trying to say here is that right now, in Industrial 2.0, is that what we're seeing is that things are becoming cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, more and more affordable. The cost of innovation is going way, way, way down. Yeah? Low cost. And it's going to also spread to people in their garages, in their basements, in their dorm rooms, to the individuals. And this is where I see that we as makerspaces can occupy. Yeah? This is what we saw before. We as makerspaces are here and we're poised to take advantage of Industrial 2.0. So let me talk about a little bit about what we're doing in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Yeah? What we have in Chiang Mai, Thailand is what we call Chiang Mai Maker Mountain. Chiang Mai Maker Mountain is a consortium of several different entities that are all part of the maker movement. We have Makerspace, which has all the digital fabrication and tools. We have Space, which has all the office facilities and co-working spaces. Chiang Mai Maker Club, which is a huge open source community. We have Maker Asia, which you have seen, which is the media arm for the maker movement. And we have InShop, which is the makerspace for women. So what does that look like? This is Makerspace. We're 300 square meters of tools and space. We have things like 3D printers and laser cutters. We have electronic workbenches. This is our studio space. Over here, this is our workshop space where we have like really strong fabrication tools. We have things like CNC machines that we built ourselves. We have band saws, table saws, compound miter saws, drills. We have welding equipment. So pretty much anything that we can think of, we can build. This is Pun Space. This is our co-working space. This is 600 square meters of collaboration space. If you guys ever heard of digital nomads, and the digital nomads, they kind of wander all over the world. Yeah. Chiang Mai, we're listed as #1 in the world for digital nomads. We're the #1 destination. Pun Space is the #1 destination in Chiang Mai. Yeah? So we have all this virtual talent just going through our doors all the time. And of course, we have our office facilities. Right? We have private office spaces. We have meeting rooms. Of course, and we also have cafe. Yeah? We have our canteen. This is Pin Shop. Pin Shop has all the sewing machines, embroidery machines, everything that women would really love. We supply all the supplies. Chiang Mai Maker Club, we recently held Chiang Mai Maker Party. So we had 500 people show up to our maker event, where we had, this is Chiang Mai Maker Club, something that only Electronic Skeet would love. And it's pretty messy, but they do really amazing things here. This is a drone that they built themselves. It's all open source. This is not from a kit. They designed and built it everything. This includes programming all the code to make it fly. Yeah? It's an open source community, meaning everything that they build, they put up on the website so other people can learn from it. It's a completely free organization. This is a self-balancing robot that they bashed together from a couple electronic parts. Yeah? Keeps the ball level. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. But then what they did with it is, okay, then they took that technology and self-balancing and they applied it to other things. This is a self-balancing unicycle skateboard that moves around. They really like the concept. This concept was also, a similar one was funded on Kickstarter for $600,000 US. Yeah? But these guys, they bashed it together. It's completely open source. Anyone can build it. Yeah? And they made it. And of course, we have Maker Asia. This is also the Maker Media arm, that's powering now Southeast Asia. And they're based in Chiang Mai. So that's Chiang Mai Maker Mountain. And all of us coming together, what we see, and this is what I feel is important for makerspaces to understand is that when we have this sort of ecosystem, when we have these sorts of skill sets, it's not about incubation, not about acceleration, it's what we call a venture building community. All of us coming together, all the creativity, all the innovation. We are here and we are poised to create new ventures that can come out onto the market. Right? So to make all this happen, we have things like Infinity Industries. This is a new system that we're putting into place that helps build new ventures. So, okay, everyone here has heard of incubators and accelerators, right? The thing is that incubators and accelerators, as we know of them, as they come from Silicon Valley, they just don't really work here in Asia. Not really. I mean, at best, their success ratio is at best about 10%. Yeah? You say, okay, 10% that they produce results. But what they don't really emphasize is actually 90% of all innovations coming out, these things fail. Y Combinator, probably the best one out of Silicon Valley, their success rate now is 8%. What? That means 92% of things fail. And here's the thing about these Silicon Valley types and accelerators and incubators. They come out to Asia and they don't really understand our sensibilities. They don't understand where we come from. They forget that, okay, well look, in the West it's okay to go out there and fail. It's okay, you'll eventually succeed. Can you imagine saying that in Asia? Then you laugh because, well look, Westerners, they don't understand this one concept called face. Yeah? In Asia, we have face. If you fail, someone will remember you for a very long time. So yeah, people are pretty careful about that. On top of that, if you're an investor and you're going to invest into other people and they fail, well guess what? You're the guy who invested into a failure. How do you look? This concept of face is something that incubators and accelerators, they just don't get. That's why what we're proposing to do is we take something like Infinity Industries, where we say, okay, we can produce a 50% success rate. Okay, so how do we do that? First of all, we have to use different tools from different industries. For example, we use market research-based approach understanding of the markets. Before we jump, we make sure we know where we're jumping. We make sure we understand what the marketplace is doing. We use new best tools from design thinking for innovation, such as licensing from idea. We use team collaborative environments that we build. So for example, this is the Stanford D School, which we incorporate their team building environments into what we're doing. That's why we have Hunt Spaceport. And most importantly, you must have the ability to test your ideas. This is the middle of Chiang Mai. It's called the Chiang Mai Walking Street. It happens every week, Sunday night. Thousands and thousands of people from all over the world. These are not Chiang Mai people, these are international people. Come through here. And oh, guess what? This is where Makerspace and Space is. So when we produce new ideas, it's very easy for us to just go out and say, hey, how about you take a look at what we're doing? What do you think? Get your feedback, go back and prototype again. You can do this over and over again. Rapidly prototype your ideas by getting feedback from things like this, from people all over the world. That's what we should do. And on top of that, well, not only do we have the ability to test, but we also have the ability to build. Here in Asia, we're tapped into the Asian supply chain. And it makes a lot of sense that we need to take advantage of this. This is a pick and place machine that we saw from earlier. This is our friend who owns this machine. He produces things for European countries. Electronic components everywhere, has injection molding, has all the capability, and oh look, we do low cost, low volume manufacturing. But why not go to China then? Everyone goes, oh, go produce in China, right? The thing is, when you go to China, what are they going to do? Oh, you give them the mold, and then they produce it for you, and then when your back is turned, what are they going to do? They're going to produce 1,000 of them, 10,000 of them. Oh, whoops.
Even BMW gets screwed.
Even BMW gets screwed. You're actually producing their car, and you go, oh, it's a complete rip-off, right?
Rip-off the X5.
Exactly. And that's the thing about China. Okay, maybe you'll save 10% on your manufacturing costs. But guess what? They're going to rip off your ideas. This guy, for example, his name is Volker, runs his factory out of Chiang Mai. He produced some really cool stuff from injection molding for 80-20 aluminum extrusions. I go, hey, great. You know what? I make my CNC machine out of 80-20 extrusions. Tell you what, how about you sell me some of that? Because I really like it. He turned around to me and said, Nati, I'm sorry, we're an OEM shop. We don't do that. You have to go directly to the people that contracted us to produce these things. And I'm his friend. If this was China, they say, hey, sure, no problem. Take as much as you want. And that's the thing. Okay, maybe you go to China, but you're going to lose your ideas. You come to people like us into places like Thailand, and suddenly, yeah, we can produce it, but not only that, your ideas are also protected. So let me give you an example of how do we use this innovation process to actually produce a 50% success rate. And what we did here is curing clubfoot with things like MakerSpace. Does everyone know what clubfoot is? Clubfoot? So clubfoot is where it's a deformity of the foot. When you're born, your foot is like angled like this. And the thing is, it's like 160,000 kids per year are born with this deformity. And most of it takes place here in the developing world. People in the developing world, it doesn't really get fixed. And the thing is that 99% of all cases are fixable. So if that's the case, why isn't it being done? And when they grow up in the developing world and it doesn't get fixed, well, they become crippled. They have no capability to be productive members of society. And this is completely 99% fixable. So, okay, so how is it fixable? Well, there's a guy named Dr. Bonsetti. He created what was called the Bonsetti method, where it's a series of plaster casts where you manipulate the foot, yeah, and then you cast it and lock it in place. And then the next week you come back, you cut off the cast, adjust the foot, and then cast it again. You do this over and over again. It takes about 6 to 8 weeks. The problem with this is it's a very time-consuming process. Each cast takes about 30 to 45 minutes. Yeah? And on top of that, you're going to have to use a lot of doctors because guess what? The kids are not always that cooperative. They're going to swerve. So you have to get a bunch of doctors around just to hold the kid down so you get the cast in place. It's a very time-consuming and wasteful process. And it's made even worse when the kid has 2 club feet. So you have to double the time. So, okay, so this is a compelling problem that we saw, something that needs to be fixed. So at first we looked at different solutions out there in the marketplace. Right? We saw, like, everyone's probably seen this thing before. It's like a cage that you put around your leg and then you drill holes in it. It's not good for a kid, yeah? So we can't do that. And then on top of that, we looked at some things like this. This is an air cast, yeah? That can, like, go down and very easily be put in place. And that thing costs about $500. And as we said, look, most of the problem takes place here in the developing world. So we can't do a $500 device. We need something much cheaper, something that can replace plaster casts. I don't know about you, but plaster casts are very, very cheap. But we have a makerspace. So what can we do? We start looking at different types of materials. Here, what we have is a 3D printed cast made from PLA plastic. Yeah. You put it into water, and then you boil it at 100 degrees. It becomes soft, and then you can wrap it around things. You know, okay, that's pretty cool. But 100 degrees is a little bit too hot to put on an infant's foot, so we can't quite do that. So what we did instead is we started looking at different types of materials. So we looked at things like thermoplastics that are FDA approved. And we're like, okay, well, how can we do this? And it melts at something like 60 degrees. Instead, it becomes pliable. So, okay, and then we have the makerspace where we have things like our 3D printers and laser cutters and CNC machines. And we started playing around with all the different forms. And so, in other words, what we did was we took the idea of what that cast was from 3D printing, and then we played with it, with the materials, with the fabrication techniques inside a makerspace, and then we produced this. This is a cast that can be put on an infant's foot. It's cost less than $50. That doesn't need to be replaced for the entire treatment. You can put on an infant's foot. Yeah, you put it into warm water, it becomes soft. You wrap it around, you pour cold water on it, it becomes hard. That's all it takes. For the follow-up, all you need to do is take a hair dryer, blow on it, it becomes soft, and then you move it, you pour water on it again. So what used to be a 30 to 45 minute process, we got down to 5 minutes. And on top of that, it's as cheap as a plaster cast. And it doesn't take a whole bunch of doctors to do it. We cut the cast out so that any technician can do it. So in other words, we made it simplified. So what? These are the sorts of things that we can accomplish in terms of innovation when it comes to makerspaces. All we need to do is use processes, use design thinking, bring this into our businesses, and start producing new ventures like this. Oh, by the way, yes, this is patent pending. Yeah? And also, yes, we're going to clinical trials. So that's the sorts of things that we can accomplish with things like makerspace. So, in other words, if we look back in here, yeah, at our day, where we talked about monolithic corporations and the internet and Industrial 2.0, and where we're here right now. Well, look, these big corporations, the way that they do things is they have a whole bunch of money. So what they do is they pay for innovation consultants. They have a monopoly on innovation. Well, they need help doing it. So they would pay people to help them. So things like market research firms, they pay them a whole lot of money. Product design firms, you've probably heard of IDEO, they have a whole lot of money. So they pay them a lot of money, and then what comes out? Market research firms, well, they have a 50% success ratio. We know this, they're market researchers, they research this stuff. So new innovations coming out, they go, okay, well, they have the success rate already. Places like IDEO, they have facilitated design thinking. They're able to take in people from many different backgrounds, many different specialities, get them to work together. That's how they create all the cool stuff that you see. Well, at Infinity Industries, what we feel is that, okay, we already have facilitators, we already have the credibility, we have the people who have already worked in market research, we have the directors that have run these programs that have done 50% success rates. What we're going to do is we're going to bring this into house and then deploy it for people down here. The thing about these guys up here, they cost a lot of money. They're never going to be able to do people down here.
You cost $55,000 per week.
Per week. And you know what? At that rate is cheap, and the people that you get are usually interns. Usually a project's going to cost $1 million if you want to get the real top quality people. Right? So what we're proposing is that we can take these same techniques and apply it down to the people down here, more at the startup level, more at the SME level. And from there, that's where we're going to see real true innovation spring forward. Yeah? So in other words, this whole entire notion of membership for profit, forget it. Yeah? It's not about that. It should be more about really the things that we make inside of makerspaces. These are the things that will bring us money, will bring us profit, will bring us sustainability. We are platforms for innovation. We will profit from the innovations that come out. So look at it more like that. Now, the way that Makerspace works, and the way that Infinity Industries work, our business model works something like more like a pirate ship. Yeah? The way that pirate ships work is that you have a captain and you have a crew. Everyone on that pirate ship gets a cut of everything that gets done. Yeah? Any bounty that gets done from this pirate ship, everyone gets their share. Yeah? Anyone that participates in Infinity Industries, they also get a share, depending upon their contribution. The more that they're willing to contribute, the more that they get back. So for example, if some guy wants to go off and make his own new company from Infinity Industries, he wants to be his own CEO, great, go ahead. Yeah, we're there to help you, we're there to support you, and on top of that, you get your equity as a CEO. If you want to be just a maker, you just want to make things, and you don't want to run your own company, then okay, be part of the process, make things, be inventive, be a guy who likes to make things. Yeah? You don't need to run your own company. Who said you have to do that? But at the same time, you still get shares of everything that you make. You share the success of everyone on the boat. That's the way that these things should work. So that's the way Infinity Industries work. Yeah? You work like a pirate ship. So with that, I guess, thank you for listening. Yeah, we're Makerspace, and we're also Chiang Mai Maker Mountain. Right? If you have any questions, there's my email. Yeah. All right. How much time do we got left?
It's okay. There's